Hey folks, this is Hans the Ramen Raider coming at you with another episode of Instant Noodle Recipe Time, the show where I show you what to do with your instant noodles. And today I've got something that's a little bit of a mystery to me. I don't know if I'm going to be making this correctly. At least I kind of got a handle on it. This is Liang Cheng Mei's Mian from China, and they made the Biang noodle that's on the top 10 list for 2019 from China as well, and it's super good stuff. They also made 30-second hot bird, which is basically like kind of like bulldog, and comes in a fancy little box and has a chicken like a rooster wearing a biker jacket with spikes on it, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, this is pretty cool looking. Yeah. So the trouble I'm having with this one is the broth, and it mentions use as much water as you feel like. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of sachets here. And my first thought is like, oh, I don't want to use too little, but I don't want to use too much. And there's no pictures of the finished product on here. There's no number insofar as broth. So it's like, what do? I don't know if you're supposed to use a lot of broth or a little bit of, yeah, so what I'm going to try is what it mentions is you put the stuff in a bowl. So we'll do that first. That whistle. It comes with whistle. So I'm going to put this soup in. Because this might be more akin to like a dry noodle kind of thing, but I just don't know. So I've kind of got to do the scary and figure it out on my lonesome. I asked a couple people, but they were busy, so no worries. This is like little bits of stuff in here, and it says whistle. And I read a little bit about Mian on Mian on that could even be wrong, on Wikipedia, mentioning stuff like carrot and other things, and this kind of looked like it had a picture of a carrot on it. And I'm wondering if this is what's going on here. But it also mentioned like minced pork, so this smells really freaking good, though, I'll say that. And then there's this one. Now, in the picture, it's showing 2 sachets. Yeah, 3, okay. So here we go. What do we got in here? Also, I think it might have scorpion pepper. There's that. Okay, and it mentions adding water, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of, now let's see, there's a little bit of water. I'm hoping that I didn't just totally screw everything up and ruin the whole deal here. I have a feeling I did not. So I kind of have to do this backwards. I have to try the broth and cook the noodles. Greasy. Wow, that is strong. Maybe a little bit more. But yeah, I think this one does not require a lot of broth. And I want to say that might have been more like 300 mil. 250. Which basically means now I've got to, cook this whole thing up of noodles. So I'm going to pause it for a minute, get the water boiling. Alright, so water's boiling again, and the noodles are in the pot. That's kind of a good place to be. The timer's going. And yeah, we'll see how this all goes down. I think it's going to work out. This stuff smells really good, honestly. So, what's new with you folks? Today I released my bottom 10 list, which is the worst, in my opinion, varieties out there. Generally, most of the ones that I see that I have on the bottom 10, oh, come on, they don't go away or anything. They're like varieties that have been on the bottom 10 many times, and the reason they don't go away is because people like them. Just because I don't like them doesn't mean if you do that you're a bad person. I'm just not going to eat those noodles with you. Never. No. Nope. Okay, maybe you might be a bad person because you eat some of these noodles, but, whatever. Miles had his last day of school on Friday, so he's got a few weeks of no school. Then he goes to summer school, which he's stoked on. Actually, I don't know if he really realizes it, but he'll like summer school. He loves going to school, so now I'm like kind of stuck. I got to do apartment laps for my exercise, which is really, really boring. You might be thinking, well, why don't you bring your kid? Why don't you just take your kids out somewhere? Why don't you bring him along to do your walking? It's like, dude, I'd be walking like 1 mile every 10 hours. A stroller and him would be really, 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 really hard. So, which is unfortunate. I really wish I would have gotten into this whole walking thing, like way, way back. So I could have taken him everywhere too. But yeah. And we've been watching this show Black Mirror, and it's like really trippy. If you have Netflix, you can see it. I don't know if it's originally on anything else. That's a really freaking weird show. See, he's happy. He's singing. Hopefully he's not sitting on the entertainment center. One moment. Here, pause. Nah, he's not. He's being good. And I've instituted this new thing, so if they're doing something they shouldn't, or they need to do something and they don't immediately do it, I say okay, and I count from 5 to 1. With if it passes 1, it's a timeout. And generally, a timeout is she's 2, he's 3, 2 minutes for her, 3 minutes for him. But only, I think, 2 times have we had to actually do one in the, I want to say like 5 days since I started that whole thing. So, not bad, I gotta say. Not too bad. I think it's just the numbers going down is like, oh my god, numbers are getting smaller. That's a bad thing, right? It is. Come on. And here we go with the noodles in the bowl. That doesn't seem right. I don't know. Now I'm getting second thoughts about this. But all the pictures I saw, it didn't seem like really overly soupy. So let's see what happens when we do this. See, this is kind of like what it looked like in pictures I saw. I'm hoping my status as the God of Ramen. And that wasn't a name I gave myself. I actually told the Chinese journalist recently. They're like, so how did you come up with the name for yourself, the God of Ramen? I'm like, I didn't. That would be like the most horrible, evil thing to do. No. Actually, what happened is I did an interview for the Jungang Ilbo newspaper in South Korea. And when the journalist from there, she sent me a copy of, actually she sent me like 4 copies of the paper, which was cool. Thank you. This was a few years back, and she said, discover the God of Ramen on page 37 or something like that. And you go to page 37, and of course it's all in Korean. But I asked somebody that I knew at the time, it's like, so it's in Korean, but does it really call me the God of Ramen? They're like, oh yeah, dude. Yeah. It calls you the God of Ramen, alright. I'm like, cool. Oh. I wonder if that's... I swear it mentioned scorpion peppers. Let's find out. Let's give this stuff a taste. I've got a couple things to add on. Oh my, that does look like a dehydrated something mean. Oh, maybe not. Get more tomato out of that. In fact, I'm mainly out of this dish, I'm getting like a vinegar. And kind of sweet. These little bits. I don't know if that's tofu skin or... That's definitely tofu something. But, one thing's for sure, it is really warm. The noodles are boiling hot. This is interesting stuff. I will definitely say right off the bat, I love those biang biang noodles way better than these. It's all right. All these little bits. Okay. Well, I've got a couple things to add. It mentioned minced pork, so there's some pork. And I think maybe to make that look more good. Oh, where'd all the liquid go? Did it already suck it all up? Man. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe it does need a little bit more liquid. Well, if I did it wrong, I know where to get more, so folks from China, if you're familiar with this dish, let me know and tell me if I did this right or wrong. It tastes good, I'll give it that. Throw a couple sprouts in here. colors so they're not so stark. Are you happy, Miles? I sure hope so, because you're making a lot of happy noise. I hate it when mung bean sprouts do this. They get... Miles! 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 Oh my god, dude. Miles is singing his heart out. And it mentions scallions, so... Whammo. I really don't know what else to do to this stuff. Except for rotate it. You might notice that the music stopped. Ran out of batteries while it was boiling again, so... It's alright. It's okay. It's alright. Oh my god, Miles, shush. What song are you... Is that your own song? There you go. And instead of Rotato, I'll let Miles do the singing, but watch, he won't do it now. Hey Miles, sing some more, dude. He's out there watching Daniel Tiger. That's like his favorite freaking thing. But yeah, this is good. If you can find it, definitely give it a try. The noodles have a nice gauge to them. And like I said, it's almost like a sweet and oily and vinegary, like black vinegar kind of hit. Alright, well hey, this has been Hans the Ramen Raider wishing you enjoyment of your noodles every day. Have a good one. Bye.